Are you a man over 60? Are you getting tired of waking up multiple times a night, stumbling to the bathroom, only to feel like your bladder is never quite empty? Do you find yourself mapping out every restroom on your route before you leave the house? For millions of men, these aren't small annoyances. They're nightly frustrations that ruin your sleep and run your life. So many men just chalk this up to getting older. But it doesn't have to be your normal. As a urologist, I've spent my career focused on the prostate, and I want to talk about some very common, everyday habits that can seriously aggravate the symptoms of an enlarged prostate, or BPH. Let's be clear, these habits don't cause the prostate to enlarge. That's primarily due to age and genetics, but they can absolutely make the symptoms you're feeling a whole lot worse. The great news is that you have power over these habits. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they are and, more importantly, what simple, natural changes you can make to get relief, starting as soon as tonight. The power to feel better is in your hands, and it starts with understanding what's really happening in your body. The countdown begins. Habit number 7, ignoring the urge to urinate. Let's kick off our countdown with a habit that feels harmless but puts a surprising amount of strain on your urinary system. Regularly ignoring the urge to go. We've all done it. You're deep into a task, watching a movie or on a long drive, and you just think, I can hold it. But making a habit of this can worsen your prostate symptoms. Here's what's going on. Your bladder is a muscular pouch. When it fills up, it tells your brain it's time to go. If you constantly ignore that signal, you force the bladder muscle to stretch beyond its normal limits. Imagine overstretching a rubber band again and again. Over time, this can weaken the bladder muscle, making it tougher to empty completely when you finally do go. That leftover urine can irritate the bladder, and that irritation can, in turn, aggravate the prostate gland sitting right underneath it, making your BPH symptoms flare up. The fix is beautifully simple. When you feel the urge to go, go. Don't postpone it. Make a point of listening to your body's signals. If you know you're heading out, make a strategic trip to the restroom before you leave. This small change reduces the stress on your bladder, helps it stay strong, and takes unnecessary pressure off your prostate. Habit number 6, lack of general physical activity. Next on our list is something that's become a signature of modern life: not getting enough physical activity. It's no secret that exercise is fantastic for your heart, weight, and mood, but its direct benefits for prostate health are often overlooked. In fact, regular, moderate exercise is one of the most powerful things you can do to manage the symptoms of an enlarged prostate. There are 2 main reasons for this. First, physical activity helps you stay at a healthy weight. Obesity is a major risk factor for BPH and for having more severe symptoms. Excess body fat, especially around your belly, promotes inflammation throughout the body, and your prostate is definitely not immune. This inflammation can contribute to BPH. Second, exercise boosts blood circulation. Your prostate needs good blood flow to get oxygen and clear out waste. Being active makes your circulation more efficient, which helps reduce inflammatory buildup in the pelvic area that can irritate the prostate. You don't need to start training for a marathon. Consistency is the name of the game, not intensity. Just aim for 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week. This could be a brisk walk, a bike ride, swimming, or even some active gardening. Anything that gets your heart pumping and your body moving is doing you good. By making activity a non-negotiable part of your day, you're actively fighting inflammation, boosting circulation, and managing your weight. 3 crucial factors for a healthier prostate. Habit number 5, consuming excess caffeine and alcohol. Coming in at number 5 is a daily ritual for many of us, consuming too much caffeine and alcohol. That morning cup of coffee or evening glass of wine might feel like a simple pleasure, but for a man with an enlarged prostate, these drinks can be major irritants that make symptoms much worse. Here's why. Both caffeine and alcohol are diuretics, meaning they make your kidneys produce more urine. For a man whose urethra is already being squeezed by an enlarged prostate, this is a recipe for trouble. Your bladder fills faster, which means more frequent and urgent trips to the bathroom. On top of that, these substances can directly irritate the bladder lining. This irritation can make the bladder twitchy and overactive, giving you that constant nagging feeling that you need to go, even when your bladder isn't full. This is especially a problem at night, leading to what we call nocturia, waking up repeatedly to urinate, which is one of the most frustrating symptoms of BPH. The solution here is all about moderation and timing. You don't have to give up coffee or alcohol entirely, but you need to be smart about it. Try cutting back. If you have 3 cups of coffee a day, try 1. More importantly, give yourself a curfew. Avoid caffeine and alcohol for at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. This one change can dramatically cut down on nighttime bathroom trips, leading to better sleep and giving your urinary system a much-needed rest. Habit number 4. An unhealthy diet high in red meat. At number 4 is a habit that can directly fuel inflammation in your body. A diet heavy in red and processed meats and light on fruits and vegetables. That old saying, "You are what you eat," is spot on when it comes to prostate health. The food you choose can either calm inflammation or fan its flames. The issue with diets high in red meat, like beef and pork, and processed foods is that they're often packed with saturated fats and compounds that promote inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a key driver behind BPH. Think of it as constantly tossing tiny sparks onto a smoldering fire in your pelvic region. Over the years, this low-grade inflammation encourages prostate cells to multiply. A diet rich in vegetables, fruits, and healthy fats does the opposite by providing antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. The fix is to shift your diet to be more plant-focused. You don't need to become a vegetarian tomorrow, but make a real effort to cut down on red meat. Try having a few meat-free days each week. Load up on colorful veggies, especially broccoli and spinach, and get healthy fats from avocados, nuts, and olive oil. Fatty fish like salmon are fantastic because they're full of anti-inflammatory omega-3s. By changing your fuel, you give your body the tools to cool down inflammation and support long-term prostate health. Habit number 3. Sitting for too long. This next habit is one of the sneakiest of our time, and it's number 3 on the list: sitting for long stretches. Whether you're at a desk, in a car, or on the sofa, sitting for hours on end is a problem. While it doesn't directly cause BPH, a sedentary lifestyle is a known risk factor and can worsen symptoms. Here's the problem. A sedentary life contributes to issues like obesity and poor circulation, which are linked to a higher risk of BPH and more severe symptoms. When you're inactive for long periods, blood flow to the pelvic region can be less efficient. This can contribute to the kind of low-grade inflammatory environment that aggravates prostate issues. In fact, some research has shown that men with more sedentary lifestyles may have higher levels of prostate-specific antigen, PSA, which is a key marker for prostate problems. The solution couldn't be simpler: stand up. The goal is to break the cycle of non-stop sitting. Set a timer for every 30 to 60 minutes. When it goes off, just get up, stretch, and walk around for a couple of minutes. Grab a glass of water or just march in place. That simple act is enough to get your blood moving, take pressure off your pelvic area, and disrupt the inflammatory cycle. It's a tiny movement with a huge impact. Habit number 2. Chronic dehydration. We're at number 2, and this one might be a surprise. It's the habit of not drinking enough water. A lot of men with BPH think, "I'm running to the bathroom constantly, so I should drink less." It seems logical, but it's one of the worst things you can do. It's a paradox. Drinking too little water can actually make your urinary symptoms worse. Here's what happens. When you don't drink enough fluids, your urine becomes highly concentrated, it gets darker, and is full of waste products. This concentrated urine is a major irritant to the sensitive lining of your bladder. This irritation can trigger bladder spasms and a powerful sense of urgency, making you feel like you have to go more often, even with less urine. So, in trying to solve the problem of frequency, you accidentally create the problem of urgency and irritation. The solution isn't to drink less, but to drink smarter. You need to stay hydrated. Aim to sip small amounts of water throughout the day instead of chugging a huge glass all at once. Your goal is for your urine to be a pale, light yellow color. If it's dark yellow, you're dehydrated. By spreading your fluid intake from morning until early evening, you keep your urine diluted and non-irritating, which will calm your bladder and reduce that constant urge to go. The number one habit, drinking large amounts of fluid at the wrong time. And here we are, at the number one habit that I warn my senior patients about. It's the one that has the most immediate and life-changing impact. It's not just what you drink, or even how much you drink all day, but when you drink it. The single biggest habit that amplifies the impact of an enlarged prostate on your life is drinking large volumes of any fluid in the evening, especially in the 2 to 3 hours before bed. This is the habit that directly causes those dreaded nighttime bathroom trips that shatter your sleep and leave you exhausted the next day. We've already talked about how an enlarged prostate makes it hard to empty your bladder completely. Now, imagine you drink a big glass of water, a cup of tea, or a bowl of soup right before you go to bed. All that liquid gets processed by your kidneys and sent to your bladder while you're trying to sleep. A bladder that is already struggling now has to handle a flood of new urine. It's going to hit its capacity fast, triggering that urgent signal that yanks you out of a deep sleep, not just once, but maybe 2, 3, or even 4 times a night. This chronic sleep disruption is devastating. It affects everything from your mood and blood pressure to your brain function. The solution is the single most effective change you can make for immediate relief. Set a strict fluid cut-off time. Make it a hard rule to drink very little, if anything, in the 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. A small sip for medication is fine, but the days of having a big glass of water on your nightstand are over. Hydrate well all day long, like we talked about in habit number 2, but then turn off the tap as bedtime gets close. This one change can give you back your sleep and provide incredible relief fast. So, to wrap it up, we've covered the 7 key habits that could be making your prostate symptoms worse. Ignoring the urge to urinate, not getting enough exercise, too much caffeine and alcohol, an inflammatory diet, sitting too long, not drinking enough water, and the big one, drinking too much fluid right before bed. The most important thing I want you to walk away with is that you are not powerless here. The best news is that every single one of these habits is completely within your control. Making a change to just 1 or 2 of these can bring a major improvement to your daily life. If you found this information helpful, and I really hope you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more health advice you can actually trust. And now I've got a question for you. Which of these habits hit closest to home for you? Which one are you going to start working on today? Let me know in the comments below. I do read them, and your story could help inspire other men in this community. Remember, while an enlarged prostate might be a common part of aging, suffering from the symptoms doesn't have to be. Taking control of your prostate health is possible, and it doesn't start with some magic pill. It starts with these small daily choices. You now have the knowledge and the power to make a real difference in your own health, starting right now. Thank you for watching, and here's to your health.